Good afternoon. This is Gary Hansen with Professional Insurance Strategies. Today we're talking about contractors' general liability insurance. We get a lot of questions from new contractors, especially as far as what it takes to get general liability insurance, what factors go into general liability insurance, what does it cover, what doesn't it cover. So I'm going to take a few minutes to just kind of go over a few things that would help you when you're shopping or when you're starting a new contracting business and getting general liability insurance. First question we always get is, what does general liability insurance covers? I usually give people this example. The example is, if you're an electrician and you're wiring a house and you mess up the wiring, and a year from now or 6 months from now it causes a fire and the fire demolishes the house, your general liability is going to cover the damage that your work did, but it's not going to cover the actual electrical outlet that you built. So you install an outlet cover or an outlet in a new house, and 6 months later something happens, the house burns to the ground. They find out that this outlet box is the cause of the fire. Your insurance company is going to pay for the damage that outlet cover being faulty, uh, wasn't installed correctly. It's going to cover the damage that created, but it's not going to cover the 48-cent outlet box. So that's the first thing. Next, people always want to know, well, how is my premium going to be factored, or what factors go into my premiums? So usually with a contractor, it's going to come in one of three areas. Number one is total sales for the year. Number two would be payroll for your employees. And number three would be subcontractor costs. The insurance company has to have a way to charge for your policy. So they use sales, payroll, subcontractor costs, or any one of those factors, or sometimes they use kind of all those factors and they come with one rate. And so when you're anticipating starting a new company, or you have a need for a general liability policy, that's basically what your policy is going to be based on. Normally we'd like to put customers with companies that will do an audit that benefits you at the end of the year if you don't hit those numbers. What I mean by that is, you're with an insurance company and they give you the audit at the end of the year. Maybe you estimated your sales or payroll way too high, and so at the end of the year you do the audit, you get some money back. Likewise, if you go over the amount that you anticipated, they're going to charge you for more. So that's a key question to ask your insurance professional is, if I overestimate or underestimate, how does this particular insurance company handle that money coming back to me, or me paying that money? Can I make payments? A lot of different answers there. Best to be educated going into it, because it sucks to find out at the end of the year that you paid a bunch of extra money because you thought you're going to have all this business that you didn't get, and you're with an insurance company that's not going to give you any of that money back because it's called a minimum earned policy. And so what you started with the policy, the amount of payroll, sales, or subcontractor costs that you estimated was what they wrote the policy for, and that's there. If you go under that, they're not going to give you any money back. But if you way overshoot it, go over that amount, that they will charge you more, always, usually 9 times out of 10 anyways. Another thing that we talk about is limits for contractors. Generally, insurance companies will do like a $500,000 limit. They'll do $1 million limit. Some will do a $2 million limit. It really depends on the company. Really, there's no reason to not go with at least $1 million for your per occurrence limit, because in the end, if you're trying to save money when you're just starting out, the price difference, if you're like an owner operator, like a single person HVAC company, the price difference between $500,000 per occurrence and $1 million per occurrence is maybe $30 or $40, and the likelihood of you having a claim, especially if you're electrical company, HVAC company, plumbing company, your chances of having in between a $500,000 and $1 million claim, if you have a claim, usually they're big claims. So it's smarter just to go with the $1 million. Yes, it's a little bit extra, but you have so much more coverage. And oftentimes, if you're working for a general contractor, or you're working for a property management company or some other type of customer for yourself, they're going to require at least $1 million. You might need a lot umbrella. You might need auto insurance, commercial auto insurance. You might need workers' comp. Those are all separate things, and we'll get into those in different videos. But I just kind of want to give you a 35,000 foot view of getting a basic general liability policy if you're a contractor, and knowing what you need to know going into it as far as how the policy is rated, what are some good limits to look at, some examples of what your general liability covers, and hopefully that helps you out. If you have any other questions, give me a call. Thank you very much. And again, I'm Gary Hansen with Professional Insurance Strategies.